Hey, thanks for joining the channel. In today's episode, we're making a box joint jig that we can make these box points on and ultimately make recipe boxes out of. So stay with us and we'll walk through this together.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man whose heart is hollow.
Now that I've got the board with the rail, the base with the rail put on, and you saw me just tack this in with 23 gauge, 3/4 inch brads, I'm going to now attach the back plate, and this is just an old 2x4, and that's going to go on the back here in a square. I want to make sure it's square, but the key here is you want to drill and countersink two screws from the bottom up on the bottom here. And you want to make sure that those screw heads are below or buried into the wood so they're not going to interfere with hitting your table saw blade. So again, one on each end of the board, so your blade's not going to hit that. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of this this jig. You're going to need a piece of wood that you're going to be using. I'm using 1/2 inch hickory to make some boxes, recipe boxes. So what you're going to want to do is raise your blade a little bit, and you're going to cut into this a little ways, and then you're going to stop. And then we're going to put our board on here, and then raise the blade to the height of this board. Okay, now that we've got the height set, I'm going to take my little fence here. This is the back plate. I'm going to take another piece of wood, and this is what I'm going to put this on here, and this is what I'm going to use to cut the right depth and size to put my peg in, which is going to be my guide for my box joints when I make them. So let's do that. So that's going to be the size of a guide that I need to make out of another piece of oak that I've got over here. So I've got this, it's too wide, I'm going to have to cut, sand, whatever you're going to do to get this the right height and width. So we'll do that next. The other thing I'm going to do is, now that I've got this cut, I'm going to go back in here and put 2 more screws in here just to secure this plywood a little bit better to my backboard, so it doesn't come apart and get twisted and whatnot. So that's what you're going to see me do next. Okay, now we're going to attach our guide block here. Again, I've got my little peg here, perfectly cut to the dimensions of the that I can tell right now. We'll do a test cut here in a little bit and see how this works. But what I want to do is I take my second block, and because tells me where my dado is cutting, I'm just going to set that flush up against the. I'm going to put this flush up against where the cut's at and move my little guide block over. And then I'm going to screw this block in place. So I've got that where I want it. I'm going to drill a couple guide holes. Okay, so I've just got some scrap wood. Again, it's 1/2 inch. So the first cut, I'm going to butt up against my little peg sticking out here. I'm going to run it through here, and then I'll move it over and do the same until I get some box finger joints on here. And then I'll do we'll do the second piece. I'll show you how to do that. So for the second piece, we're going to put our first piece on here, and then we're going to butt up our second piece right up against it, and that's going to be our first cut, and then we'll just duplicate exactly what we just did. Okay, I went back and recut these, moved my jig over just a little bit to make the teeth a little bit, the holes a little bit bigger. And I have a pretty darn good finger joint. So these are the first finger joints I've made. I've never made this. I've never done finger joints before. I'm really happy with this. I clearly have some more practice to do with it, and before I get it. But these are by far, better joints than I was using for miters, and I was doing splines, miter and splines on my recipe boxes. So really happy with this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, or you have any questions, put some comments down below. Otherwise, hit the subscribe button. You'll get notified when new episodes come out. Appreciate you watching. Until next time, be safe, have fun, make some sawdust.